Hello, welcome to the Spring Board Algebra 2 Lesson 30-1 tutorial video. My name is Mr. Yeselyurt, and I will be helping you solve rational expressions, rational equations that are similar to the problems in the Spring Board workbook. So the first example is this one, x minus 2 over x plus 1 equals half. What we need to do is basically solve for x. So the first thing I'm going to do is I want to multiply both sides by x plus 1 so that I can start simplifying it. So this is what we have, and I'm going to multiply this by x plus 1, and since I do that to the left side, I also have to do it to the right side. So this is what I get, and then these two will cancel out, but the thing that we have to notice here is that x cannot be -1. So we have to remember that and as we go along. So now I have x minus 2 equals x plus 1 over 2, where x cannot be -1. Now what I want to do is multiply both sides by 2 so that I can get the half out of there. So I'm going to get this. Let me actually write it this way. X minus 2 times 2 equals this, x plus 1 over 2 times 2. So these 2's cancel out, and the left side simplifies to 2x minus 4. That's equal to x plus 1. And now what I'm going to do is subtract x from both sides. So this cancels with that, and I get x minus 4 equals 1. And then I just add 4 to both sides, and I get x equals 5. Now let me plug this back into the original equation. The original equation was x minus 2 over x plus 1 equals half. So if x is equal to 5, it's going to be 5 minus 2 over 5 plus 1, and that is that equal to half? Let's see, right? This means we're checking to see if it's true. So 5 minus 2 is 3, 5 plus 1 is 6. Yes, indeed, 3 over 6 is half, so that means that our answer is x equals 5. We had to check it by plugging it back in the equation because it needs to be a value of x for which the original equation is true. The original equation was this, and so we checked it by plugging in x equals 5 right here into the original, and we got that. So that means that we had the right answer. Okay, let's go on to the second example. And here it is. Now this one, what we have is a sum of rational expressions, and we have an equation that has rational expressions on both sides. So what we want to do is, again, solve for x. So the first thing we want to do is notice that x cannot be 0. That's from here and from here. And x cannot be 2. Okay, so that's from this one and this one. So these are so whatever we get as a solution, as long as it's not 0 or 2, we're good. So the first thing we want to do is make these all have a common denominator. So what I'm going to do is keep 10 over x times x minus 2 over there. But for the 4 over x, I need to multiply it with a fraction that is equal to 1 that has x minus 2 over x minus 2. That's so that these two will combine and make a common denominator later. So let's do the right side. So this is 5 over x minus 2. I'm going to have to multiply it by x over x. Again, this is to get x times x minus 2 in the denominator at the bottom, which I'm going to write right now. So we still have 10 over x times x minus 2, but now we have plus 4 times x minus 2 over x times x minus 2. And that's equal to 5x over x times x minus 2. Now, since we have all the same denominators on the bottom, remember that throughout this whole time, x cannot be 0 and x cannot be 2. As long as we keep that, we can actually just take the numerators and set them equal because all of these have the same denominator. So that means their numerators must be summed up, must be equal. So we can say 10 plus 4 times x minus 2 equals 5x. And we got to keep this restriction of x cannot equal 0, x cannot equal 2. So from here, it's a pretty simple problem. So we just expand it out. 10 plus 4x minus 8 equals 5x. Now what I'm going to do is subtract 4x on both sides. So this cancels out. And then I get 10 minus 8, which is 2, and that's equal to x. So we got x is equal to 2. But wait a second. We had x cannot equal 0 and x cannot equal 2 the whole time. So these two things clash. We can't have an x equal to 2 because in our original expression or equation, if I plug 2 here, I get 0 for this, and then this whole thing becomes infinity, and then we get a big mess. So that means that since x equal 2 was the only possible solution we were considering, but it's contradicted by this restriction, we call this an extraneous solution. And since that is a vocabulary term, I'm going to write it in red. This is an extraneous solution. So it's a solution that makes the original equation undefined. And undefined, and it's not a real solution. The extraneous solution is not a real solution. So what that means is that we don't actually have any solution for this problem. So the real conclusion is that there's no solution because we can't have the extraneous solution. It causes the original thing, when I plug in 2 here, to go to 0, and then this whole thing goes to infinity, and it's a big mess. Okay, so let's move on to the next problem. So this is similar to one of the word problems in your Spring Board lesson 30-1 activity. I slightly changed it a little bit. So we have Jessica and Christine both working on planting a garden, and together it takes them 3 hours. When Jessica works alone, it takes her 9 hours. So the question that I'm asking is, how much of a garden, what fraction of a garden does Christine plant per hour? How do we find that? So the way to approach this is, first we let J equal Jessica's rate in gardens per hour. So that's how fast she plants the garden. And C is Christine's rate. So her, in gardens per hour. It's how fast she plants gardens per hour. So what we know is that it takes them both 3 hours when they do it together. So if I start with 3 hours and multiply it by Jessica's gardens per hour, let me actually just leave it as J. Okay, and then I add 3 hours times Christine's rate, I should get 1 garden. In 3 hours, at each of their respective rates, J and C, they add up to planting 1 garden. So excuse me, I can simplify this by saying it's 3J plus 3C equals 1. Okay, so J and C are clearly going to be fractions because they cannot plant more than 1 garden in an hour. It takes too long. So the next thing is that, next piece of information is that when Jessica works alone, it takes her 9 hours. So what that means is that we're going to write also another equation, 9J equals 1. Okay, so that means that J is equal to 1 over 9. So these two are a system of equations. This one comes from the second one. So I know that Jessica's rate is 1/9 of a garden per hour. That's her rate. Now I can use that to find the value for C, which is Christine's rate. So what I'm going to get is 3 times 1/9. So I'm plugging this thing into here. Okay. So I get 3 times 1/9 plus 3C equals 1. So I just simplify it. This is going to be 1/3 plus 3C equals 1. Subtract 1/3 from both sides. This cancels out. I get 3C equals 2/3. I divide both sides by 3. And I get C equals 2/9. So Christine plants 2/9 of a garden per hour, while Jessica plants 1/9 garden per hour. So C is going to be 2/9 of a garden per hour. Now I know that I haven't answered all the different parts that the Spring Board activity has, but if you understand how this equation was set up and how it works, and how we use the information of 3 hours for both of them here, and 9 hours for one of them here, if you understood that, then the rest of the problems will probably become easier for you. So that's all for this video, and good luck on the activity.